Welcome back, everybody. My name is Paloma, and happy spring. It is April already, and I wanted to come on here and do a quarter one financial review. As you know, I've been going through a journey of trying to pay off my debt and also just trying to get my finances in order. And so I figured doing a quarter review for 2024 would be something that can help make sure that we're keeping on track with what our goals are. All right, so we are going to do the quarter one finance recap. So, again, that is January, February, March of 2024. And my total spending for the first quarter is $17,033. And that is a lot of money, but I'll go ahead and break down the math for you so we can see how we got there. And my total net income for the quarter was 11,516. I also did my taxes and got my tax return of 1,880, which brought that total to 13,396 that we had to work with. And now you can obviously tell from how much I spent to how much I brought in that there is a difference. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the math. In the math, you can see that I spent 17,000, I only brought in 13,000. So we are at a negative of $3,637 for the first quarter, and you can go ahead and see that here. If you take a look at the bottom part, I did pull out $3,233 from my savings account. And this is the one that we've been putting money into, but I decided to pull that money out so that I can pay back some of this debt that I owed. And that brings us down to negative $404 that we are over for the month on spending. And I do split bills with my brother. And so that brought me to the break even point of my finances this quarter. So no, I was not in negative 3,637. Before that looked like me putting everything on my credit card. Um, this time it just looks like pulling money from my savings account and splitting bills with my brother, and that brought me to the break even point. So that is a win in my book. Based on where we were last year, it's a great, great improvement. And moving on, sorry, let me move myself. Moving on to my top spending priorities for the quarter. My number one was my loan payoff. So I really wanted to make sure that I got rid of any personal debt that I had. And if you've been following, you know that we paid off the car and we had credit card debt left. And this quarter, I spent 7,778 on paying off that credit card debt, on bills and rent, making sure that we have a house over our that we have a roof over our head and we're not getting kicked out or anything like that. Was my second priority, and so we spent 5,088 on that. My third was my savings, and that one is automatically split into a different savings account when my paycheck drops, and that was $900 there for the quarter. And then transportation, it went up a little bit than what I was budgeting, and that went to 911. My battery did die this year, and I had to get that changed, and a couple other things that came up for transportation that weren't planned, and so that did go up, but it's okay. We had a savings and things that we could move around to make that happen without getting into more debt. Moving on to other categories that we spent on for this quarter was our pets. We spent $817, which is not at all what I was thinking we were going to be spending on our pets. But the beginning of the year, you have to update the rabies shot. And Coco, who is the younger pet, had to get all of the shots going and making sure he was good. And so that brought up our costs for the pets there. And Our sixth top spending category was garden and shopping. That one was 798 with 84 cents. And again, that includes shopping, any type of shopping, like going to Walmart or Target, any type of gardening related expenses. Those were all lumped in on there. And then for dinner, drinks, and groceries, because I do live with my family and we're sharing, I don't have to worry about groceries or food in general. But these are the ones that I spent 385 with 36 cents for the quarter on just random things for groceries, dinner, and drinks that weren't included with the households. Um, and then uh, I do go to get somebody to do my taxes for me. And so I spent 185 on their fee for that. And that was the eighth highest spending category. And then number nine, my health and wellness. I did spend $57 on that. It's a $50 monthly charge. And I just started going back this year. And I just started going back this quarter. And so there you go. We're gonna see this category go up in the next quarter. And then laundry, I spent $40. And entertainment, I spent $31. And that's literally just one place that I went dancing, and that's where I spent that money. And then other just includes tax, and then I had a fee for work related expense, and that was 41.33. So yeah. So yeah, that's where all of my money went for this quarter. So if you add those up, you'll see that that is why our spending came to 17,033, which I think is such a crazy number. Oh my goodness. I thought it wasn't that big of a, I was like, oh, I've been doing so good. I haven't, but the loan payoff really brought those numbers up a lot, which is fine because I want to share with you if you know, you can see my number one spending this past quarter was my loan payments and getting that credit card paid. And I'm happy to announce that I have $571 left in my personal debt from where we started. We had the car loan, and credit card debt, and now we're just left with 571. And that means that this new coming quarter, I'm going to be prioritizing my budget and working on a new budget. And we're going to be tackling our mortgage. Now, I didn't lump in the mortgage with my personal debt. Um, so they're two different things. And I'm happy to say, barring anything goes wrong, we're down to $571 left in personal debt. And that is very exciting. Um, so yeah, it was interesting going through my finances for the first quarter. Like I've mentioned before, I like using Rocket Money, and the numbers are a little bit slightly different on Rocket Money. Rocket Money says that I made 13,000. Um, and I think it says that no, I think Rocket Money says that I spent 14, that made 14,000 and that I spent $13,000, while my like spreadsheet says something else. And so I went through and printed out all of my bank statements, and I started highlighting, you know, everything in them to make sure that I had the right numbers. And then I added them to a different spreadsheet so that I can add up everything on there based on everything that's on my bank statement, since I don't really use cash at all. And that's why I added those numbers that you saw on the recap, uh, than what Rocket Money had or my other spreadsheet had, because the other spreadsheet, I wasn't as good as updating every little expense. And then Rocket Money has every expense, but it doesn't have my correct income because it only tracks what deposits deposits into my bank and not what deposits into my savings account. And uh, the like um the savings transfer isn't accounted for, um, and just like random things. So without more craziness, I'm glad that we broke even this month. Sorry, I'm glad that we broke even this quarter. I think just where we were a year ago and now, um, it's a good place to be. And I'm excited to work on a new budget. I know April is going to be an in between, right? We're going to be paying off the last bit of debt, and I already see expenses that are coming in that aren't going to be recurring, but are going to be that one time thing. And so it'll be interesting to see how April comes and goes financially, and where we'll be set up for the new um, quarter two. Uh, so thank you for meeting with me. And sorry, I'm a little sick, but I wanted to do this reflection with you all. So excited to see you in the next video. And I'm excited to start like tracking and tackling this mortgage. I think it's gonna be our next priority now that we're getting done with our personal debt. So let me know if you have any advice on where to start with tackling mortgage, but I feel like I have some ideas that I'll share with you in the next video.